Today we cover some of our favorite mindset hacks for success on today's episode.
You are listening to the Champion Hustle podcast. Play to succeed in business and in life. Featuring Levi Hunsaker and Ryan Black.
Hello and welcome to the Champion Hustle podcast. This is episode number 4. My name is Ryan Black.
And my name is Levi Hunsaker.
And we welcome you guys out here. Levi, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Ryan. I guess it's afternoon now.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, we are here, which is what's important. We're here and we are excited to share with you guys this information, mindset hacks. Your mindset is really what determines your results in life, especially in business. And so we've collected together some of our favorite hacks, and we have quite a list. So let's dive right in and get to them. You want to kick it off, Levi?
Yeah. So my first and my favorite is, as you are getting started in a new venture, or maybe even you have started a venture, you might want to back up and think about this. I always like to talk about start with why. Why are you doing it? What is your purpose? And last week, we actually talked with Tani Shaw about finding your core purpose in your business and giving back. And that for her was a driving passion, a driving influence in her life and in her business. So I'm just going to say start with why. Get a clear vision. Get a big vision. As you're looking, think 10 years down the road. What do you want to build? What do you want to create? And when that why is big enough, whatever comes along, the what and the how, whatever that you might be looking at that seems maybe insurmountable now, when you know what your vision is and what your why is, the what and the how really become manageable. And as you keep thinking about that, it really gets into your subconscious. And when your subconscious takes over, that's really when it can become powerful. You can think about something all day long, but until you get it into your core, into your subconscious, and it becomes part of who you are when you're awake or whether you're asleep, that's when true power comes. So start with why. That's my first one.
Well, and that's something, I love that because we talk about people who are driven, right? People who just have that passion or that drive to do whatever. It's because they have a clear why. And when you have your why, nothing else matters. So I love it. Now, the second one we have here, it kind of goes along with what you're saying, is that of perspective. Now, let me kind of paint a visual picture for you here of what I'm talking about with perspective. Imagine that you have a set of stairs, okay? And you are at the bottom of the stairs. And you're, a little person at the bottom of the stairs, and you're looking up. And you got all of the stairs above you, and you're just, you have your destination or your goal that's right there at the very end of what you're wanting to accomplish. But your current viewpoint is that of a wall, because all you're seeing in front of you is the riser, as it were. Get the riser is the vertical part of the stair, and then the tread is the horizontal part. So all you're seeing is the riser of that stair blocking your view. So all you see is a wall. Now imagine, in order for you to get to that top stair and hit that goal, you obviously need to level up from step to step to step. What we do by implementing different mindset hacks are really what we do is it's almost like we create little ladders, right? We fabricate little ladders that go from stair to up to the next stair, up to the next stair. That makes it very, very easy and very bite-sized for us to be able to level up little by little. And so as you are looking at whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever goal it is that you're working towards in business or in life, rather than focusing on the wall that's right in front of you, say, okay, I have my why, I have that end step of where I want to get to, but the perspective, don't focus on the wall, focus on your mindset. And in doing so, you'll build those little ladders that will help you reach the next level. Because guess what? As soon as you hit that next level, all you're going to see is another wall. And you're going to say, deja vu, but that's the way we make it happen. So remember, keep your perspective. Just because if for those of you who are hikers or love being in the outdoors, sometimes when you're hiking up a mountain, you think it's the top of the mountain, you get to the top of the mountain, and then you see there's another bigger mountain behind it, And so it's not until you truly get to the very top that then you can see all the progress you've made. So stay positive and keep your perspective in check.
Yeah, great strategy, Ryan. I love it. So another one that I like to think about is the have, do, and be. A lot of people like to think about, ooh, I want to have these things so that I can do what I want to do and be the person that I want to be. And it's just not that way. In reality, you have to be the type of person that has that type of success or has that type of thing. You have to start practicing being that future self now. And in a lot of cases, if you talk to any millionaire out there, you're going to actually find that they were of a millionaire mindset first, probably 12 months before they ever became a millionaire, at least. And so really get into that have, do, or instead of being in that have, do, be mentality, we like to get into a be who you want to be so that you can do the things that you want to do and have the things that you want to have. And a lot of that starts with a mentality of I am. And actually, Ryan is wearing the shirt right there. If you're on the YouTube channel, he's got an I am shirt on, because you have to focus on the I am. What are you? And speak positively about yourself. You know, a lot of times we are a very negative voice inside of our head. And Woody Woodward says it best, that if you spoke to your friends the way that you spoke to yourself, you wouldn't have any friends left. So be positive and talk about I am successful. I am a champion. I am.
Exactly. And, and I love this one because, anytime we talk about the do, be, have, right? Or be, do, have, do, be. Most people, like you said, they think have, do, be. No, it's be, do, have. One of the great examples of this is a good friend of ours and future guest on the show, Ron Williams. Ron is the most decorated natural bodybuilder in the history of the world. And he is someone who is very, very, just very inspirational in a way of being able to understand. Before he claimed his first Mr. Universe title, he knew several years beforehand. He knew that that's what he was going to achieve. And so he said, well, I have to be that person. And so everything from his mindset to his diet, to his diet plan, to the, hours and hours and hours he spent at the gym every single day for years, he did that because he said, well, if I am going to be, I will act like as if I already were. Because why? As you said, I am. And so that is a wonderful example of you've got to become, because when you become something, then your actions will then fall in line with someone who is that. And then in turn, your outcome and your result will of course be your actions, your doings will be different. And then what you receive in the end will be different. I would, talking kind of along this line with be, do, have, let's bring up the next one, which is talking about champion life and champion hustle. So for us, one of the things that's really important is we believe in the 5 F's, right? So this is the Champion Hustle podcast, and we are all about living a champion life. With these 5 F's, there are 5 key components that we believe are very important in life. And those are faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun. And so as we're looking to live that champion life and have and be the embodiment, right, of champion hustle, you have to look and say, okay, am I meeting all 5 of my F's? Because if you're not, you're going to be like an out of balance, something that's out of balance. You're just not going to be solid. It's like, imagine if you had a platform and then you have pillars underneath it, those 5 pillars. If one of those is much higher than the others, it's not going to be a flat surface. It's not going to be stable. So in looking, we all have different bottlenecks. As we make our way through life, through business, we have different bottlenecks where maybe right now, you're going through specific challenges as it relates to your health, or specific challenges with a loved one or your better half or a family member. it is so important to be able to maintain the focus of champion life in all of the areas so that all areas are growing equally. Otherwise, you get out of balance. And if you're out of balance, you're not really going to be getting the results that you want in any areas of your life, right? You want to be in all areas equally successful.
Yeah, the way I love it. We've done a training together on this before, Ryan, and we look at these areas like a wheel, and each of these areas of our lives is a spoke to a wheel. And when one spoke is longer than the other, you just have a lopsided wheel. And I don't know about you, but if you've ever wrecked on your bike and then tried to ride it afterwards, it's not very fun. You're wobbling all over the place. You're bouncing all over the place. And it's just having balance in your life is like rounding out that wheel. And I love to think about these as areas where you look at, are you in a scarcity mindset or an average mindset or an abundance mindset? And we have the ability to be in those different mindsets in each of these different areas of this life, faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun. We need all of those things to actually have a solid foundation in life, to have an enjoyment of life, and also really to have an enjoyment of business. Because if you're not having fun, you're doing it wrong.
Absolutely. Well, you want to take it off with the next one,
Oh,
Levi?
Yeah. Let's talk about another one of my favorites, gratitude. Now, gratitude is incredibly powerful in your life. So one of the things that got me started looking at this is I was introduced to several studies, actually. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit technical. We're going to get into some academia here a little bit, but don't tune out. There's still good value here coming. But as I looked into it, there was a Harvard study on gratitude. And what they did is they looked at gratitude versus somebody who looks at irritation in their life versus someone who just writes experiences, things that happen to them. And they looked at what happens to these people, and they asked them to journal about this every day for several weeks. And what they found is that the people that had gratitude and that were writing about gratitude at the end of the study were more optimistic. They felt better about themselves and their life. They even exercised more and visited the doctor less. So gratitude has an incredible impact in your life. The other fun one that I really like is Indiana University. They actually did brain scans of people experiencing gratitude situations. And essentially what they did, and I'm going to read a little snippet of their study to you here in just a second, but they basically put them in there and they said, I'm going to give you some money and you're going to donate some of it to other people. And while they were experiencing that feeling, they ran a scan of their brain. And while they're expressing that gratitude, basically what they said is you could even think of your brain as having a sort of gratitude muscle that can be exercised and strengthened. And we all know that when you don't exercise, things get unhealthy. If you don't continue to exercise a muscle, it decays. And so when you don't exercise your gratitude muscle, that gratitude decays and it actually changes your mental state.
So you're saying that some people have a flabby gratitude muscles.
Flabby gratitude. Yeah, I've been there, right? But what I love about this is they did this and they were scanning these people. But what happened is the long-term effects. Even weeks and months later, they came back and ran another scan. And they were seeing increased brain activity from gratitude in their life just from what was happening in the study. That carries forward. It creates connections in the brain that can be long-lasting. And so really, if you're looking to have success in your life, in your business, practice gratitude. And one of the things that I would say is have a gratitude journal. Write at least 3 things every single day that you're grateful for, and you will start to notice an abundance of things to be grateful for in your life.
I love it. Yes, gratitude is so, and I'm trying to remember the name of the book. I read a book I think it was called the Happiness Advantage, I believe is what it was called.
I have not read that book, so I'll have to check it out.
No, it's the Gratitude Effect.
Ooh,
that's
the Gratitude Effect.
Yeah, that's what
I'll have to check that one out too.
Yeah. The Gratitude Effect. Phenomenal book that dives deep into that. So important. And a lot of people don't realize the power that there is in having gratitude. So kind of going along with gratitude and with what you're talking about, I want to talk a little bit about state versus mindset. Now, to clarify here, state is something that is temporary, right? You're in a temporary state regarding a certain circumstance, but your mindset is actually your lifestyle. So a common example of this that we see is, people who maybe are in a financial difficulty, they say, oh, I'm poor. I'm poor. Being poor is a mindset. Being broke is a state. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being broke. Where you're going to set yourself up for failure is if you're poor, because poor is a mindset, right? So you can have a wealthy mindset and have had challenges and currently be broke. But where you see the, intergenerational or the continual over a lifetime of poverty is due to a poor mindset. And so in your life, I would say look at the different areas what is your state and what is your mindset. Usually there's going to be a difference between your state and your mindset because we're all working towards our goals. But the important thing is as long as you have your mindset in the right place, meaning a mindset of abundance versus a mindset of scarcity, that will drastically change your state. So in kind of going back to those 5 F's, right? Faith, family, fitness, finances, and fun, looking at where is your mindset in regards to each of those items. Right now, you might be overweight, but has your mindset, what kind of mindset do you have regarding your health? Because being overweight could be simply a state that you're in, right? Or maybe as you're growing your business and trying to scale it to the next level or start your first business and you're facing different challenges with that, what is your mindset? Are you going to have the mindset of, it doesn't matter if I just lost the client, if I just, barely broke even on that with that customer, with that project. It doesn't matter as long as you have the right mindset. Remember, mindset is key. The state is temporary. So make sure that you discern between those two differences.
Yeah, exactly. And, if you took somebody with a wealthy mindset and you said, I'm going to take your wallet, I'm going to take your shoes. We'll let them keep their clothes because otherwise that would be unsightly. But if you basically took everything they had, all their worldly possessions, and dropped them in the middle of a city with nothing, what are they going to do? That mindset gives the people the ability to create. And when you can create something, you have the ability to gain it all back again. So having a wealthy mindset has nothing to do with where you are right now. It's what is your ability to create and build something useful and impactful.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's a great example. Thanks for sharing that.
So the next thing that I want to tackle is starting with the things that you don't like to do. There are things that we all don't like to do. We're all busy. We all have busy lives. We're busy in business. We're busy with kids. We're busy with family. We're busy with the things that we like to do. But a lot of times what we see when we're busy with the things that we like to do is the things that we should be doing are getting left behind. So I'm going to say start with the things that you like to do or don't like to do. Because at the beginning of the day, you have the most energy. So you're going to start with the hardest things for you. Now, for everybody, that's different. So what you're going to do is work through those hard things first while you have the most energy. And the things that you like to do and the things that you're passionate about, as your energy wanes, you're still going to enjoy doing those and you're going to go do it anyway. So start with the things that you don't like to do first and work into things that you're passionate about.
It's like if you have kids, right? Well, you have kids, but for those listening, if you have kids and your kids are like, I want to start my dinner eating ice cream and cookies. That's not going to work. You know that after they eat the ice cream and cookies, they're gone.
And they're not going to eat their broccoli either.
No, they're not eating the veggies. So you start with the veggies, maybe or whatever it is that they don't enjoy eating. Start with that. You work towards the easy, which is dessert, right? So you got to do things in the right order, which is maybe counterproductive to what most people would want to do, but it will get you a much better result. I love it.
All right, what do we have for us next, Ryan?
Ooh, man, it's just we've got this list here with all these incredible things. I'm like, what's the next one I want to do? Let's cover. You know what? Let's go. Ooh, I like this one. Okay, conversation and action. So a lot of times when we are looking in business, we're saying, okay, I'm doing all the right actions. I am. Maybe if it's customer outreach, right, or marketing or sales, you say, okay, I'm communicating with customers. I understand which channels I need to connect with them on, so that I'm connecting with the right demographic. I'm providing the information. I am clearly communicating the features and benefits of the product or service that I offer. All that information is there, so I'm doing the actions, and I'm doing it with consistency. Yet I'm not getting the results that I want. My suggestion for you would be look at the conversations that you're having. And by conversations, I mean the internal conversations that are happening inside of your head. Because those conversations or those beliefs that are going inside will absolutely affect your result. The equation is conversation plus action equals results. So even if you're going through all the motions of doing all the correct actions, if the conversation that's happening upstairs is not in congruence with your goals or with what it is that you're trying to accomplish, your end result will not be your desired result. So obviously there's the one aspect, which is making sure that you're doing the right actions. That's a whole nother conversation. Right now I'm focused on assuming that you're doing the right actions. What is that conversation, or what are those conversations that are happening, and that we all have them. We all have them. It's our belief system, our BS. What is going on upstairs? Because for better or for worse, it's going to affect you. Sometimes people use the moniker brainwashing, right? It's like, well, I would say absolutely. You need to brainwash yourself. You brainwash yourself if you're having a destructive conversation or a disempowering conversation or a conversation that simply is not allowing you to achieve those results that you want to achieve. Sometimes you gotta, as the saying goes, fake it till you make it. You change that conversation upstairs, and this all happens inside your head. Change that conversation that you're having upstairs, change that belief system so that when you combine and couple that conversation with your actions, the end result will be the result that you were hoping for.
And just remember, be nice to yourself, because that conversation that you're having with yourself, that can be positive or it can be negative. So what is that conversation? Elevate the level of your conversation if you want to elevate the level of your business, and if you want to elevate the level of your life.
Absolutely.
All right, so the next one that I want to talk about is, what are you most passionate about? So some of you might look at that and say, well, why are we talking about this in terms of mindset? Because when you have the ability to go do what you are most passionate about, this is all about fueling yourself. You're doing hard things. You need a resilient and strong mindset. And as you go along in business, that mindset's going to start out at a higher level, and it's going to be depleted as you're going along through your day, through your weeks, through your months of business, through your months of life. You have to recharge and really use your passion as your fuel. Go enjoy that passion, refuel, recharge, and then come right back and hit it hard again.
I love it. Thank you. All right, let's talk about credibility. Now, credibility is something that, right, your reputation precedes you. You only have one opportunity to make a good first impression. We've all heard the sayings. But credibility really is something that is created over time or is destroyed over time. And I like to think of it as a bicycle wheel. So imagine on a bicycle wheel, you have all of the different spokes, right, that connect the hub to the outer section of the wheel. And every time that you break your word or you lack credibility, right, rather than under promising and over delivering, maybe you over promise and under deliver, or you miss deadlines, or you tell, a vendor or a customer that you're going to call them back at a certain time and you don't. I mean, they're little things, right? Or you're going to send them over send them a piece of information and you don't. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter how small it is. If you don't keep your word, then you are breaking one of those spokes off the wheel. Now, at first, you have a bicycle wheel. It'll still continue to function just fine, even if you're missing a few spokes. But as time goes on and more of those spokes are getting cut out of that wheel, it's going to get to the point where it's going to be very, very lopsided, or it's just going to collapse. And so remember that credibility takes time to build and takes time to destroy. So it's just a lot of these things are little visuals, and I find that they're very beneficial because it's easier to remember, right? When you have a visual image. And so on your credibility, look at your bicycle. How are your wheels? Are you missing spokes? And if you are, focus on getting those spokes rebuilt and added back in so that you can start performing to the level that you want. And otherwise, it's simply going to be hurting you in your business.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want to either crash or knock your fillings loose while you're on that bicycle, make sure that your credibility is solid and consistent so that you can keep that reputation going and really build a good relationship with the people around you and the people that you're serving in your business.
Amen. Now, Levi, looking here, we have a ton more things on this list.
A big list.
And we're hitting our timer here. We try to keep these episodes around 30 minutes for each episode. And we've got enough to do a whole nother episode of this stuff. So what do you say? Should we make this to be continued?
Yeah, I think let's just keep the conversation going next week and talk about more mindset hacks, because really it all starts with mindset in your life and in your business as to the quality of what you're going to create.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. And mindset may not sound, it's not very sexy. People they don't want to really, sometimes they're not that interested in learning about mindset, but it is so essential. It's the core. Everything else stems from it. And so we hope that some of the hacks that we've shared with you today will be beneficial for you. One thing is, some of these will resonate with you and some of them won't. Everybody's a little bit different, but those that did resonate with you, jot them down, remember them, put them into practice. And in the next week, we will continue the conversation with the rest of our mindset hacks, continue diving deeper. So we look forward to sharing that with you next week. And also, we've got all of our different online resources. If you've not plugged into our YouTube channel, we invite you to do so. If you're just listening to the audio version, we are people. Some may say we have a radio face, and that's why we're doing a podcast, radio faces, right? But,
why did you look at me when you said that?
But we are recording the video version as well. And so if you want to see us interact and all of our laughter and stuff as we're on camera, you're welcome to do that. Simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, search for Champion Hustle on YouTube, and you can connect with us there. So,
all right. Thanks, everybody, and have a great week.
Awesome. Thanks, Levi. See you guys.
See ya.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Champion Hustle podcast. For more great content and to join our online community, visit us at championhustle.com.